Back now with more on the suit demanding change at Riverside County Animal Shelters. Attorney Dan Bolton joins us. Dan, appreciate you coming in tonight.
Happy to be here.
I have to tell you, I have now read this. It is exceptionally disturbing. You wrote it. When you read it, what do you think?
I feel the same. It's very disturbing. What I found, what I've learned that is going on at Animal Services is frankly appalling, and it's time to change that.
All right, how did you become involved in this?
Frankly, I got involved when I saw you do a show on this about 6 months or so ago. It disturbed me. I have a rescue animal, Gia, and it seemed like an important issue to address. I began speaking with people in the community who had been dealing with this issue literally for decades, and nothing had changed. And so Walter Clark Legal Group decided to take the laboring oar on this and get a legal action filed against the county and Animal Services.
All right, so how long has it taken you now to prepare this?
I've been working on this going back to March, so about 6 months, and it's based on a lot of information I've learned from people either inside Animal Services or connected to Animal Services, and also community members who've been working with or trying to work with Animal Services for, again, decades.
Okay, so there have to be people that stepped forward and said, I'll talk to you, file this. Who are those people?
So that's a great point. In finding a case like this, it's essential to find people who are willing to step up, number one, and number two, who have the knowledge and experience who can talk about these issues. So in the course of my investigation, I ran across 4 individuals who are exceptionally knowledgeable about Riverside County Animal Services and all that has been going on for many, many months.
I think the issue is, since we started doing this, people have been complaining and they've been speaking and no one is listening. And as I mentioned earlier in the program, now people are shouting. You've got to take notice. What does something like this do to them?
Well, it puts them on notice that this is no longer simply an informal discussion, or can you do this, or would you do that, or how come you didn't save this animal, or why'd you kill this animal. This is about going to the court and asking the court, please intervene here. The county and Animal Services are not doing what they're supposed to be doing under the law. We need the court's help on this.
Okay, and I read what the remedies you are asking for are, and there's a kind of a blue plate special of them. A few of them include A, remove Erin Gettis as Director of Animal Services, and you point out in the complaint that she really has no experience in operating this type of business or that type of budget.
It's perplexing to me, to say the least, that Erin Gettis is the Director of Animal Services when she came to Riverside County with no experience, as best I can tell, in animal safety, animal services, animal care, shelter management, nothing like that. But for whatever reason, she was hired, and she's not the steward that this community and the animals need to make effective, proactive change in this area.
I also found it interesting, and we have, as we've gone over the topic here on the air, the name Manuel Perez, supervisor's come up. He's not named in this. Why?
Well, this is a case directed to Riverside County Animal Services, and that's the entity that is in charge of taking care of animals in our county. So they're named along with Erin Gettis, who is the Director of Animal Services, and finally the County of Riverside, which Animal Services is a department of the county.
Okay, and the CEO, the Chief Executive of the county is Jeff Wagon, and his name is mentioned in here as the person that appointed Erin Gettis. I found it somewhat dubious, though, according to the complaint, that there was no public hearing on this.
Again, this is quite bizarre, to say the least. There was no public hearing. There was no Board of Supervisors meeting. There was no agenda item. There was nothing. She was hired in a rather opaque fashion, and frankly, the only connection I could find to Riverside County that Erin Gettis had when she was hired was that her husband was Deputy County Counsel for the County of Riverside. Now, I don't know how they address that conflict of interest. We'll find out, I hope.
Okay. To me, it seems as if this has been going on for so long, and once I got to town, I started, and Mary jumped on the story as well. It's been going on for so long and no one's listened. Do you think if somebody had listened to the public, it would not have come to this?
I would like to think so, but again, it starts with management. Management has to be proactive on this issue, and frankly, Erin Gettis has not been. And the proof is in the pudding, right? I mean, we have the petitioners in this case have been working on this for decades, and nothing really has changed other than we now have a director with very little experience in animal management who's not doing much to move the safety and the nutrition and the placement of animals forward.
All right, so this has been electronically filed. Now, as a viewer watching would want to ask this question, what happens next? Now this is done.
So, yes, the petition was filed electronically. We will get a copy back from the court documenting that it was filed. We will then serve it on the parties to the case, the county, Animal Services, and Erin Gettis, and they will have a period of time to respond to the complaint or the petition, and then we will get into litigation. We'll be doing a lot of fact discovery. I want to get to the bottom of what has been going on with Animal Services for quite some time, and in that process, we're going to learn a lot more about what's going on there, why they haven't moved to a no-kill shelter, why she makes $250,000 a year for what she's doing, why more steps aren't being taken inside the kennels to protect the animals. You'll see, as you saw in the complaint, there are, in one instance, there was an animal that had been dead for hours.
I saw it. It's painful. It's very painful to see.
Yeah. There are animals that are in kennels full of excrement, and this is, it's barbaric and inhumane.
All right. So now the clock is ticking, and you find something out when? When you find something out?
Well, they'll respond. I believe they have 30 days to respond once they're served. And then we have the right to initiate discovery, which we will do. That may take some time. So we will push this case forward, and I want to see what we can do to make changes that the community has been fighting for and asking for, again, for decades.
Dan, thanks for coming in tonight, and I think a lot of people applaud you and thank you. You are someone who is finally, along with the petitioners, doing something, so thank you.
Well, it's been an honor. I just want to say one thing. One thing I've learned in my work in this is that the animals at Animal Services, the dogs and cats, deserve to go out the front door, not out the back door at the end of their lives to a rendering facility. They deserve a new beginning. They're not getting that now.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
If you would like to weigh in, you have our email address. This is just the beginning, and we will keep you posted.